Hello, I'm Eric Gartner, and I was wondering, have you ever been in those situations in life where that you wish you could go back to, and you know if you would have said or done something differently that it would have fixed the whole situation? Well, I just recently read a book by Dale Carnegie called How to Win Friends and Influence Others. It addresses some of the concerns and topics we talked about in class, like conflict management and conversational messages, many types of which are used in this book. So at first, the book first starts talking about how being friendly can win you friends, of course. Then transitions into how to preserve those friendships through conflict management. And then it addresses how you can prosper through this book by teaching you some leadership aspects and how to bring others up with you through leadership. And then I'll tell you about how I implemented some of these actions in my day-to-day life. So being friendly, you start with something as simple as a smile. Now a smile is more about a positive attitude than just a grin on your face. Normally when you're smiling, you're happy, you're passionate about whatever it is you're doing at that time. So being that shows that you're doing well, you're in a positive mindset. People like that rather than other emotions. And I also learned that people like hearing their own name. People would rather be called by their name instead of hey you, hey girl, hey guy, whatever you want to call them. It just adds a little personal touch that sometimes gets lost. And talk in terms of other people's interests. Research people a little bit. Find out what they're interested in. Could lead to some nice small talk. And lead to friendships. So conflict management. First step I kind of learned was don't belittle your opponent and let them save face. Being in that belittling mindset, everyone's on the defensive. People are taking their own sides. No one's really listening for intent to learn. People are listening to defend what they believe, not really gain anything from the other side. So don't belittle your opponent and get them saying yes first. Have them agree to kind of what you both believe. And then maybe kind of throw, I believe this and this because this and this. And by doing that, you allow the other person to see where you're coming from through principles that they kind of agree to. And the other thing I learned, it's kind of defeatist, but don't avoid argument when you can. Avoid it altogether if you can. During those senseless arguments where where there's no real sense of winning by either side, where you're just trying to defend your side and your side only. Don't engage if you don't have to. Make peace, not wage war, if you will. So, what I learned about leadership, one tip was to give the person a reputation to live up to. Say, you're the best this. That gives people a sense of confidence. Gets people motivated. It gives them, a new sense of purpose, I guess. And it leads them to more quality work. And then I learned to ask people questions instead of giving direct orders. It kind of encourages more of a sense of individuality. And it gets them thinking in terms of more of a leadership style. And make fault seem easy to correct. Say, hey, you're doing this and this well, but if you can do this and do it at high level, you'll be in line for a promotion or something of the like. So I took 3 of these 9 ways and implemented them into my day-to-day life. And they worked very well for me. Dale Carnegie said in his book, actually, that, quote, these principles, they work like magic, incredible as it sounds. The application of these principles have literally revolutionized the lives of many people, end quote. preface page 28 to 29. So what I tried to do is call people by their names. The one example I could think of off the top of my head, me and this acquaintance were in the same friend group, but we never really talked much. When we see each other, we just kind of say hey or give a head nod. I called this person by their name the other day. I said, hey, da da da. We actually had a pretty meaningful conversation for a change, and it felt really nice. Could have been coincidental, possibly, but I know if I didn't do that in the past, and I had different results. So, do with that what you will. I also learned to say yes first. During the election, I had a lot of political Facebook posts. The comments for that got very heated. So I agreed in principle in some way, or said I see where you're coming from. And then I kind of throw my 2 cents in. What I realized is that people were more civil when I did that, instead of just always constantly arguing and bickering and trying to decide who's better than who. It makes it a little more civil when you guys can agree on something. Then finally I also learned to, like I said, to don't give direct orders and ask questions. There were some people who, the place where I work at, there's some people younger than me, don't know quite as much. So I asked them, hey, should this door be open, or should this be highlighted? Normally we both know the answer, but it's partly crash course to help them learn and reaffirm what they already know, and part to give them a sense of leadership and develop them. So all in all, while these principles and tips are going to aren't going to change the mistakes you made in the past, they will advise you against making the same mistake in the future and how to avoid it and turn it into a positive. This book definitely tells you how to make friends and influence others, and I showed that through my experiences, from some of the many helpful tips in this book. As I showed, being friendly, being positive in conflict, giving your followers a sense of individuality, it pays off in the long run, and they actually work. So don't bank on a time machine to be able to fix your problems, because it's not going to happen. But don't let your future suffer the same fate. Thank you for watching.